Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero. We are back in the SSS building because I looked up if I missed anything. So, and there's indeed something, but for that we need a certain detective rank first. So let's first turn in all our requests we have so far. Book retrieval. A sincere favor. Present for father. Search for an important person. Okay, bonuses are transferred. So what did we get? Strager, so it needs boots. No. We go to Imelda. Imelda is using a communication device installed beneath a counter. What? Don't joke with me, old fool! I've had a buyer lined up for ages! It's ready, isn't it? Send it here immediately. Do I make myself clear? Damn it, that geezer hung up on me! Good morning, ma'am. Did you need us to help with anything? Ah, it's you four. Yes, actually, you see, I think this stubborn old colt I know has finally gone senile. Oh, I understand. Adios must have sent you four to assist me. Yes, oh yes, you will work wonderfully. Come again? I got a bad feeling about this. A feeling? No, it's a certainty. Are you free now by chance? You are? Splendid. No wait, we actually have somewhere to be. Oh, I'm sure you do. I bet it's not for anything urgent, huh? After all, you had time to stop by here. Okay, you got me. Would I be correct to presume that you have a job for us, Imelda? Sharp girl. Not that I would expect anything less from old McDowell's granddaughter. I do, in fact, have something for you to do. Needless to say, I would make it worth your while. That's not the part I'm worried about. Fine then, we can at least hear what you have in mind for us. Then let's get down to it. All I need you to do is to go pick up a doll and deliver it to me. A doll? By that, do you mean... I do. One from Rosenberg Studio, which you'll find on the outskirts of a northern mountain path. Naturally, it's no fake like the one at the Schwarze Auktion. It's a genuine Rosenberg doll, one of his newest ones in fact, and it's in absolute mint condition. Oh, back it up. Don't those things go for tens of thousands of mira? A single Rosenberg doll is worth the average cross-balance entire annual income. Yes, well, I'm contracted as a studio's sales agent. The only problem is that the Meister is an old fool who despises any human interaction. I went to great lengths to find a buyer for his latest doll, and he has the nerve to start complaining now? Well, I'm not sure we can solve that exact problem. But we should be able to bring back the doll for you. I'm curious about one thing though. Why is the Meister suddenly against selling it? Ah well, the buyer is slightly problematic. Truth be told, he's an infamous broker that always resells rare works of art at exorbitantly high prices. I can only assume that the old coot is put off by that. As the artist, I can hardly blame him. I don't know, this one might be a bit out of our league. Excuse me? Goodness, you youngsters these days are so unbelievably lazy. Come now, I'm paying for your help. I have no doubt you can change that man's callous heart, and safely retrieve the doll. Well... Rosenberg Studio, huh? I guess I'm a bit curious about Ren. There might be some kind of connection there with Kia as well. We can't promise that we'll get the job done, since we have other things to take care of, but if you're okay with that, we accept. Fine, I suppose that we'll have to do. Well then, I leave a case in your hands, dearest. Try not to disappoint. Alright, I have news about your deadline. Due to my buyer's special circumstances, it was bumped up to today. So try to make it snappy. Do it for dear old Imelda. Up go the expectations yet again. Indeed, but since we have prior obligations, there's no harm in walking away if it seems impossible. Alright, let's go to the LoH studio. This seems as deserted as usual. How odd. It sounded like Imelda was in contact with someone here. Not to mention, wasn't Ren staying here too? Are they faint? I detect a presence coming from within the building. As to whether it is human or not, I'm not sure, but it's definitely there. So not even you can tell, Theo? Hey, Lloyd. If what Estelle and Joshua told us about the society is legit, then... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. This Dose told you must be connected to it in some way or another. Yep, looks like it. Well, I guess it's possible. Honestly, I didn't take them seriously at first, given the absurdity of the story, but... considering everything that happened with Ren, it's starting to sound more feasible. So that's what's going on here. You're that young police squad Ren was talking about, huh? Who's there? Where's his voice coming from? You were sent here by Imelda, I presume. You're out of luck, though. My works aren't mere second-rate antiques to be handled and pawned off by a broker like her. Leave at once. Sir, please. Well, when you put it like that, what's the guy supposed to do? He makes a fair point. Still. I suppose you did make a long trek to get here. Turning you away at the door would no doubt be unsatisfactory. Besides, I owe you a debt for all you did for Ren, so I give you one chance. A chance? What do you mean? What I mean is that I'd like to test the extent of your strength. The gate is unlocked. If you wish, open it and enter. However, are you prepared? Should we go inside? From what he said, something's bound to happen when we open the gate. Don't tell me when there's a bunch of booby traps for us. Perhaps it's something even nastier. Safe. Everyone! Clockwork angels? Look out! Are those angels and monsters? For real, old man? This is your freaking test? Brace yourself. They're coming! Till Dawn Doll prepares... Ow. Ow again. an arts cancel? Angel Doll. Valkyrie from Heaven supports and attacks. Mechanical sounds can be heard from within. Till Dawn Doe. Guardian of Heaven and Adjudicators of Sin. Mechanical sounds can be heard from within. Oh. Now, I haven't attacked these things because I knew this. What happens when you look stuff up. Ew. Instant kill. Eee. Alright, but we get a second chance, but I'll reload because I don't want to refarm CP. Oh, it's actually pretty tough. Ellie learned aerial cannon, a new S-craft, and probably an attack one, and 2 Zeran powders. Those weren't your normal monsters. Are those springs and gears? Dolls, I presume. Dolls? What kind of dolls have you been playing with? Ah, looks like you 4 aren't entirely useless then. Sir? Wipe away the shock. I'm Joerg, owner of the Rosenberg Studio. You 4 are the brats of the CPD's Special Support Section, I presume? Yes, sir. Did Ren tell you about us? No, I didn't need to hear it from her. I may be a recluse, but that kind of information gets around. I'm still not too keen about handing this over to Imelda, but a promise is a promise. Here. New doll's trunk. Thank you, sir. I was not expecting you to hand it over this quickly, considering your objection earlier. Ha! Every doll has its own destiny. Could be this doll has to pass through the hands of a boorish broker before it finds itself where it truly belongs. It's the same with people. Each and every one of our destinies rest in the hands of a goddess. Wise words. Things do make a bit more sense when you phrase it like that. Wait just a second. What was the deal with those angels and monsters you had us fight? And does this mean that Ren really is part of that society? Detective Bennings. Do you really have the time to be worrying about things like that? Huh? I'm a humble doll maker. Nothing more, nothing less. You are attempting to confront the many illnesses plaguing this land. However, you will find it impossible to find a cure for all of them. And despite all that, I hear that you intend to gaze into the bottomless abyss. The same goes for Ren. Their destiny is not directly entwined with yours. Before you worry yourself with Ren, isn't there someone else who should be taking priority? You mean Kia, right? Lloyd found her in a suitcase that was meant to contain one of her dolls, but it appears you already know that, son. If you know something about Kido, now's the time to spill the beans. Did you forget what I just told you? Every doll has its own destiny. It's quite possible that through some strange twist of fate, life took root in one of my creations, and it became human. Come again? What are you even trying to say? To be clear, no doll with her characteristics have ever been crafted by these hands of mine, as far as I can recall. The entire incident was likely someone appropriating the Rosenberg name. Whew. That was in bad taste, sir. So you really don't know anything about Kia? At the very least, I'm not aware of how she became involved in that auction. I assume neither's Ren. Well then... Damn it, here I was hoping that you'd have some kind of clue for us. That reminds me, is Ren inside? No, she just left actually. She's quite a fickle child. You'd be wasting your time to try and catch her here. Wait? I have no more to say to you four. Go on, take that doll to Imelda. And tell her to deposit the mirror in the usual account. Alright. The Society of Robbers, eh? Don't know if that old man was a part of it, but one thing's for sure. Those guys are anything but normal. I'm curious about those dolls. Even the Epstein Foundation is still incapable of creating things of that nature. And Liebel's ZCF has only just begun their research into them. The Rosenberg Studio is becoming more and more mysterious with every visit. This might be too much for us to handle at this point in time. I think you might be right there. Well, we still have a job to do. Let's take this doll back to the antique shop. I'm sure Imelda is waiting for us. Sounds good. Is that trunk what I think it is? That's right, Joerg agreed to leave it with us. Would you like to confirm its contents? Sweet Aegis, it really is that nuts new doll. I cannot fathom how you convinced him, but bravo! I'm not sure if we convinced him or if he was just impressed by our raw stubbornness. Either way, it's a marvelous doll, isn't it? I've seen some before at a friend's place, but each one is truly a masterpiece. The craftsmanship takes one's breath away. I'm inclined to agree, they are remarkable. I was expecting it to be about the same size as Kia, though. That sweet little girl you brought before, eh? There are Rosenberg dolls that are about her height, yes? Joerg seldom makes them though, so you never see them on the market. That's also why we're set to fetch such outrageous prices at the auction. Perhaps older dolls are more her size? For example, I remember Belle's being a similar height. Oh really? I have a question, Imelda. Are you aware of the other dolls Rosenberg Studio has made? Other dolls? What do you mean? How about giant dolls that can move on their own? Ring any bells? Specifically one that looks like an angel, another with a big face. Oh, are you perhaps talking about the automata? If anything, I'd say those are actually his specialty. I've heard their movements have become even more precise and started incorporating orbital technology in them. You know about them? And you didn't? Even Archon-Seer uses them on stage from time to time. I believe the soldier with a spear in their latest production was an automaton. What, you mean the one that was twirling that spear around like it was nothing? I never would have guessed, not in a million years. Well, surprise! The troop is in an entire order for complex stage props too. Everything from the lighting apparatus to the water controls to the wire flying system was entirely Joerg's handiwork. I suppose it's still far from being public knowledge though. Well, my mind is blown. I will admit that I thought the stage was incorporating impressive tech. But does that mean it was angels and monsters function similarly? Who's to say, that old coot's full of mysteries, not to mention stubborn to the bone and hates just about everyone he meets. But as long as he puts out a new product every so often, and lets me dip in on the profit, I don't have any complaints. At any rate, you certainly didn't disappoint, dearies. You'll be the first on my list to call if I ever need a hand again. If you insist. Well then, if you excuse us. Speaking of dolls, it reminds me of another curious rumor I heard some time ago. It spoke of these peculiar mechanical dolls that could move of their own accord and even went on rampages during the Libel incident. Perhaps Joerg played some role in those proceedings after all? Is the shutdown of orbital technology throughout an entire country really something to make light of? No, it's not, especially given what we know about the society's role in it. Alright. That was a pretty long quest, actually. Well, I guess the fight was hard, so... Good, then I will end this episode and next time we really go to St. Ursula College. Until next time, man. I'm Ace and don't get lost.